Has there ever been a mountain taller than Mount Everest? Yeah, tons of them. I mean, depending on how far you go back, but primordial Earth had a bunch of really tall mountains. They all get weathered away eventually. Kind of a consequence of that whole active atmosphere thing. But geologists have found evidence for once tall mountains like everywhere, like in Alabama even. There's another one in India, there's another one in Japan. Like really, it's actually not all that special that sometime in the past there was a mountain range that was higher than Everest. And if you go in outer space, there's tons of mountains higher than Everest. Mars, Olympus Mons, and depending on how you measure, there are mountains taller than Everest right here on Earth right now. A volcano, Mauna Kea in Hawaii, is taller if you count the parts of it that are underwater. It is a bigger, solid hunk of rock, I guess. Like if you measured from the base underwater to its peak, and if you measured Everest's base to its peak, Mauna Kea would be taller. It's just that a good portion of it is underwater. And then you have Mount Chimborazo in Ecuador, which, if you measured it base to height, is smaller than Everest, but is closer to the equator than Everest, which means it sticks out into space more than Everest does. So if you just, drew a sphere around the Earth at the distance of the peak of Mount Chimborazo, that sphere would be higher than the peak of Mount Everest, even though Everest itself is a taller mountain. So yeah, depending on how you look at it, there have been and still are mountains taller than Everest.